So after yesterday's video, of course, there was supposed to be a question that, hey, not everybody can get inside public universities. And even though I do not believe it because the international student quota which some universities have, it still kind of like goes empty because not many international students are willing to learn German and study their bachelor's or master's there, right? But still, like, let's say that maybe not everybody can study in a public university and not everybody has good grades. So what kind of different options you can try? Because like I said, on Bharat in Germany, we are going to try to study in good German public universities which are tuition free. Now Baden-Württemberg, it has 1500 euros semester fee, but this is still a lot more reasonable for the price that you're paying when you're getting your degree from a German public university. Universities like Stuttgart, Heidelberg, Freiburg, these are like really big universities, old ones, and also like some of the most reputed ones. The value of the degree that you will be getting towards the end, that is going to be really high, right? So with that, let's start with what kind of things build a weak profile. So weak profile generally means that you have in your bachelor's a score lower than 65 or 60%. Below 65% from the data that we have seen is that the chances for getting admission in a public university in an English taught program generally decreases. So this is where we draw the line, and also because German universities put a heavy emphasis on what kind of score you have in your bachelor's. So this is a decent criteria to work with. In many German universities, you must have also seen the 2.5 German grade system, that like if you have better grades than 2.5, that means 2.4 to 1 in that range, that is of course better. So you can like apply in those universities and then you will see a distinction below 2.5. Right, that is also one system, but like that is not so important, mainly because you will still find universities which will not state the 2.5 system. Like they will say, all right, 2.9, or they might not mention any grades at all. But on your own bachelor's, on the basis of that, I think it is really important to kind of tweak your strategy on how you want to apply to the universities in the longer run. The first thing that you can do right away to improve your profile is getting some work experience. In our experience, what we have seen is that if you have a work experience of at least 2 to 3 years, it generally adds to the chances of you getting an admit in the public university where you want to study. That has generally always helped out. For the students who have better grades and who are just like finishing up their bachelor's, for them it's easy that they just directly apply for master's right after the bachelor ends. So for them, it is maybe not so necessary, but if you have lower grades, getting some work experience is not a bad idea at all. The second thing you can do is perform well in some competitive exams. So the few exams that German universities generally ask for is GRE, that's like the most asked for exam, then you have GMAT, and then you have GATE, because some universities, or rather courses, also ask for the GATE result from the Indian candidates. So if you perform well in these competitive exams, it is generally going to be better for you. Now it always depends on what kind of score you need to achieve, but all of that we have compiled in the PDF, the basic admission requirements for applying to German universities, which you can download from the description below. Now the next one is IELTS score. Now, many people have this idea that maybe getting a good IELTS score will be better for them. But what we have seen in the application process, like it generally doesn't really help that much. Like German universities take the IELTS score as a 0 or 1. So either you fulfill the criteria that the university has provided on their website, or you don't. Like there is like generally no middle ground. But then there are also a few universities which say like you should have a better IELTS score, and then that maybe increases your chances of getting an admit. But overall, IELTS doesn't really affect that much. But if you still want to take a dig at improving your overall profile for applying to German universities, getting an IELTS score of 7.0 or above is always better. 6.5 is the minimum requirement. Some universities even take with 5.5, but in my opinion, I think 7 is the better kind of like band to aim for. The fourth you can do is you can try to apply to public universities in smaller cities. Generally, these public universities in the smaller cities are having less students in the entire university. And also many students are not willing to go there because of the lesser opportunities during part-time job and so on. But this could definitely be a very nice try if you just want to get started with your master's degree in Germany, because at least once you're in Germany, you still have the option of changing universities up to the third semester. If you once enter the third semester, then it becomes difficult. Then you cannot change the university anymore. But in the first and second semester, you can always shift the university. There are different ways to finding public universities for the smaller cities, but generally in our course, we have a few set of guidelines and training examples, which if you're interested in, you can take a look at. The link for the course curriculum for the complete course for studying in Germany and what kind of trainings and workshops it has, I will put in the description below. Now, the next thing you can do is you can always try for some private universities. And here to what I say, I'm saying some. It doesn't mean all of the private universities are nice. There are definitely some bad ones with which students have had bad experiences. There were problems with accreditation and so on. And the list goes long. So you have to do your own due diligence. But in general, it is super important that when you're applying to a private university, you talk to the alumni, you talk to the students studying there, you try to find out if they had some kind of issues in the past. And if you are satisfied with all of that, then you can go ahead. Definitely a few private universities are really good and some are like even decent, but there are definitely a few which are shady and you have to avoid them at all costs. Now, for legal reasons, I cannot take any names, but do your own due diligence and you'll be fine. Generally, the private business schools are decent if you're planning for an MBA or some kind of management program. But again, like I said, just make sure where you're applying. And also most of the SRH universities, this Heidelberg, Dresden and Hamm and all of the others, like these are still like the decent universities. Students have generally only had good experiences with them. So that could also be an option that you can take a look at. Now, of course, there are a few other criteria that you can take a look at if you want to apply to the restricted courses or non-restricted courses, or if you want to apply to the NC courses or non-NC courses. All of these kind of details, along with what kind of German proficiency do you need and what kind of scores are advisable for the competitive exams, we have combined in the PDF that you can download from the link below. In general, in my opinion, like I said, as long as you're doing your own work, you're doing your own research, you're reading about things, and you're passionately looking at your next major life decision, like a major life decision and not just some kind of thing that you just want to outsource to somebody, because I see so many people, they're like, yeah, we're just going to hire a consultant and let him take care of our application documents. That is the wrong approach. This shouldn't be an arranged marriage where you're just telling your parents, yeah, like, you know, find me a woman or something, but like really think of it like a major life decision with which you have to live with for the next few years of your life, right? So super important that you do your own work. Now, also a quick announcement. So for the complete course for studying in Germany, I still have 5 coupon discounts left for 100 and 200 euros. The details are given in the description below. The coupon discount is valid till Friday, midnight German time. And also the students who are enrolled in the course, we will be having for them a presentation workshop. All of the things that we are taught in the German universities over the span of 2 years. How do you present in the classes? What kind of templates are decent and academic? And what kind of templates are more suited towards the management side? All of those kind of like nitty-bitty details we are going to be talking about on Sunday's special webinar, which will be taking place at 12:30 Indian Standard Time. So this is just another thing I try to help my course students out with, because the course is not about application process. The course is not about visa process. The course really aims at the overall development. That means when you're coming to Germany and you're enrolled in the course, any kind of issues that you're facing or something that we can help you out with, we try to do our best. And trust me, learning the right presentation skills, these are one of the most important things that you're going to do in your life. When you come here, like personally, when I started my studies and I saw like so many other German students just making like absolutely like fancy and like beautiful presentations, and we aren't taught that stuff in India, like it was a pain, but it took me some time. I learned it and then I shared it. And that is exactly what I'm going to be doing in this workshop. So students are going to be presenting their presentations on different topics. And then we are just going to critique on the template and what they can do better. So in general, it is going to be a super interesting workshop. If you're interested, you can join in. If you're waiting for some kind of coupon discount and stuff, now you have it. So that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot for watching the video and I'll see you in the next one.